first. Globex low, which will be easier, 2684.50. Perfect. About. Here, we'll just write Globex low down there. Globex low, 2684.50. There we go. Globex high came in at 27.26 1/4. Let's do that. 27.26 1/4. Okay, and let's go do NQ. Really insert format, insert symbol tick plot. Obviously, it's going to be a big gap down with a big negative tick, right? There's no shock there. NQ. We have down 108 points. 67, 65, 50. Okay, and Globex high came in at 68.90, 69.15. What a butt kicking somebody took. Okay, so to state the obvious right out of the gate, if you're trading NQ on the open, you better expect a 20 or 30 point rotation out of the gate. That's $400 to $600 per contract. That'll probably take place in seconds. Okay, right out of the gate. So I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. I have no desire to get eviscerated on my stops or anything else. I'll just let it be. The easier trade for people who cannot handle mega fast markets is ES, hands down, with no question. Trend day down is a clear possibility, right? So let's go over what I want to do to get started. First what I want to do is this. Let me do this really quick. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This is for educational purposes only. I'm sharing my trade plan with you in hopes it'll make you a better trader. However, do not follow me blindly. If you want to learn my methodology, I'm more than happy to teach it to you. But following me blindly creates trust issues within your own trading process and can cause losses. Okay, make sure you understand the risk. I'm a day trader. I take multiple trades, both longs and shorts, and get stopped on some of those trades, and I'm perfectly fine taking my next setup on most days, right? I have a max stop loss for the day, but if you take one trade, you could be very well the one trade I lose on. So be aware, I take multiple shots through the course of the day, and my process is structured around doing that, okay? And I recommend you have a risk management process in play. I have no idea if we open drive higher or open drive lower, if this move is stolen overnight. I don't know these things, and I don't need to know those things in order to trade. What I do know is that there's a couple pieces, so we're going to pull up a blank chart here, right? And we're going to go through the basics so everyone's familiar. If you are a conservative trader, okay, I'm going to draw it on NQ here. See this nasty little rip down where we can't get over the last 5-minute bar, down bar through here, right? Not taking a long through this process. What I'm circling, I want to be clear so everyone sees it, right here, or right here, this, right? If you simply waited till you can get a 5-minute bar to close above, true, you might not have caught the long. I'll grant you that, okay? But you would not have gotten slaughtered on a move down from essentially 69.50 to 68.40, 100-point move, $2,000 per contract on NQ, okay? Same story on ES, right? I'm going to show you this so that you can be clear in what we are talking about. on ES. This is the simplest. You don't need anyone to coach you on it. It's the simplest way to keep yourself from getting annihilated. And yes, I'm going to run over the open because I was late and just dragging through traffic, so I apologize. I didn't leave late, but I got here late. Same thing here, okay? See how you can't get above your last 5-minute seller, right? Granted, you lost it here, but if you waited for the short, see how you finally got your first. So sometimes you have to adapt when the bars are really big, and you could have keyed off of this bar right here, right? But what was clear is that you had a 5-minute time frame, clearly closed below another 5-minute time frame, right? And that brought you up to a short right there if you wanted it. That brought you up to a short location that gave you a beautiful push to the downside. So what that keeps you from, right, is if you'll wait, you should get a setup somewhere through the course of the day where you don't have to guess where this thing is going to turn, right? So next, what does open drive higher or open drive lower look like? And there's a couple of important points through here. I'm going to point them out really quick. You can mark them down visually, okay? So first of all, obviously, our swing low for this week here, sitting approximately right there, right? 26.97. So we are right at, we're at 26.87, right? So expect someone to try to attempt to trap back into that 26.97, 2700. You can see when we were in here, we tried multiple times. What's interesting is we couldn't get a 5-minute bar to close below. That was the lowest close point, that 2700. So what's important to me first thing in the morning? Can we close above 2700? Yay or nay? Right? If we can't close back above 2700, there is no trap back in. It's not actually the swing low. I actually want the trap above 2700. If it's not, expect a roll back to the downside, right? Next, on NQ, we'll do the same exercise. So you can see this is an important level. We're just going to mark it off right out of the gate, okay? So for this week, going back to Monday, you've got to be able to get back above the close on a 5-minute bar. The lowest close was 68.29. We're trading at 67.72. Expecting to try to test this area. If it fails or they can't trap back in, we roll lower. Very, very easy. Again, what am I looking for? This is our last open drive lower, right? So if I simply skip the first 30 minutes of the day, I get a rotation and I get an establishment of the 5-minute low. Notice this is the 5-minute low. Notice we attempt to close below the first time, fail, get back up, close below the second time, backside test the body of the 5-minute low, and roll lower. Guess what I'm looking for? I'm looking for this pattern to see if I get a push back to the downside. Obviously, lower highs and lower lows get established in the first hour of the day. We break IB low definitively. We never get back above IB low. And you'll notice it doesn't necessarily turn starting at 11 o'clock, but you'll notice between 11:30 and 12:30, we do establish the essential low of the day. I'll be looking for the same thing today between 11:30 and 12:30 for the market to at least start to establish solid upside rotations, assuming the open drive lower, right? On AES, I'm going to go give you the same picture from the other day so you know what to look for. It's a very easy reference. And then I'm going to go through the profiles, okay? So if you look, obviously there's the first 5-minute low. I'm going to open this up and relook at it because it's a great model. It's a great model for figuring out today, right? First 5-minute low, right? IB high, IB low after the first hour, right? You can see we never get back above once we break IB low, right? We close below, quick backside test, don't close back in, sayonara, see ya, right? So below 5-minute bar, below IB low, and then just free fall. Notice we start to get the turn in ES much later in the morning. It comes closer to 12:30, right? Again, that 11:30 to 12:30 window is pretty good. You'll also notice that it's the break above the last swing. Notice the test below the prior low, traps late sellers, and sets up the push back to the upside, right? Again, if you simply can wait to get above your last best 5-minute seller at minimum, right, you at least get a location where you can start working and attempting the long side trade. I'm not in a rush to attempt the long side trade today. mostly because I can't tell which way they want to take the market in either direction, right? I just can't tell. So I'm going to let them do what they need to do, and then I'll come back in and work it afterwards. I know that we're going to have a massive gap down. I know the tick will be very, very ugly, but I'll let that first 5 minutes go. So we're opening up minus 108. I would expect minus 200 if we can't bounce right out of the gate. So we'll go look and see what that is on NQ. Why do I expect minus 200? Because we've been hitting negative 200 on a pretty regular basis here the last couple of months, right? So 150 to minus 200 isn't a shock. If they open drive higher, salute to them. They got it and I didn't, and I can be all right with that. Okay. ES minus 30, NQ minus 105. I might have missed the Globex lows and highs. Let me check that off really quick. And so the computer doesn't bog down. Let's get rid of the data here. Close workspace. Not all. Okay. So obviously tick showing negative 1442. The Globex slow move, if someone can send that to me over Skype for ES and NQ, I'll rearrange it. Hey, good morning, Randy. Okay, so let's jump over here to the TPO really quick. Really? That sucks. Hold on one second. I got to get Join Me fired up again. Okay. Notice I'm not in a rush to trade. I expect to get 4 to 10 trades somewhere through the course of the day, and I don't have to commit in the first half hour. I really don't particularly care what the market does. One sec, I'll have this up. There we go. It's over. And as soon as this will connect, I'll have my other screen up and running. Again, I think people are going to get smoked this morning trying to buy the dip, but that's all right. This is not, there we go, finally. 7. Okay. Move this over. It's flashing the algo right now, and we'll go over to TPO. See if I can. Okay, so I want to show something very, very important here. I mentioned in the room, I marked it on the chart, and it took place yesterday, and I'm going to show you how that worked out, okay? So remember yesterday, I said that completes the auction up, 27.39.75, okay? If you go over to the price action, let me look at yesterday's chart. What market, what I just say, 29.39.75. You take the ES chart and you go back up. That's not possible. Hold on a second. 27.39.75. There we go. Here is, this is yesterday. Here is 27.39.75. We attempted above. If you look on a 5 range bar, we clearly established above. We got below. We backside tested. The auction was complete to the upside. So when I say the auction complete or the chart's repaired in a particular area, look for reversals. I didn't take the trade because it was Fed day, but this is quite often the result that you get. It's a great location to set up a swing trade when you get that. Okay, so it's a very, very important concept. Okay, if we look at today's chart, right? So the first thing you're going to notice on, see how most charts are pretty distinctive in their profile. There's a clear point where there was a lot of time and a lot of effort spent. There's no time and no effort spent anywhere in here. There just isn't a clear area. The point of control from volume is all the way down here. The point of control from TPO standpoint is all the way up here. That makes that entire profile, to me, weak, and it creates value area high, value area low as being the key locations to be concerned with. Okay, so the volume point of control and the TPO are pretty close. So my guess is that's if someone put a gun to my head and said, no, Simon, pick a place, I'm going to make the zone look somewhat like that, 27.18 to 27.19. But really, I want price action to support any trade decision I'm making here, because this can really just get floated all the way through. There's nothing in here to stop it one way or the other, right? So below here, where are my support areas? Notice that we've gapped below all of this. This is relatively weak, right? It's single point. Why? Because the volume point of control is all the way up here. You can see overnight we just annihilated it. And again, there's nothing over here to the left that stands out to me. So now I need to go even further down and find out, well, what's over here? And what is over here? Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's pull this in once more. Why am I having a hard time with this? There we are. Okay. Okay. So when I look at this 2678 area, right? That is a naked TPO point of control. Everyone's going to say, well, hey, we should respond off of that. It's untested. The problem is the volume point of control was tested or came very close to being tested on this day. It makes this area weaker. I would generally guess that this is going to go where I want to target my long is right in either this location right here or this little anomaly right back here. This chart is repaired at 2669. Let's open it up to make sure I got this thing right. Yes. I would expect this. If I had to lay money, I'm buying calls in here, and I'm buying calls back over here. I'd like to see it trade underneath. That's not quite right. Let's get it pinpointed. It's 2669.50. So 2675 and a quarter, 2673. I don't know that it'll get there, but that's what I'm pinpointing. On the way up, there's a hole in the profile right here. This old value area doesn't really count, but the hole does. So this chart has already been repaired on top, right? So that takes this out. So it's really this right here. That's really your first resistance area is 2691.75 to 2693 from a charting perspective. And I would expect that to create some resistance if it can get up there on the way up. Obviously, you have a big gap down. This is Dalton's gap fill at 26.97, considering the open, right? I would expect resistance. Obviously, that's the low as well. We've already discussed what that attempted double bottom that's already been busted looks like down here, right? So below those levels, right? So consider we're down 28. If we go down 50 today, which we did the other day, right? So we're at 90 plus another 25 puts us at 20. Let's see. Wow, I hate doing math on the fly, but let's just say 2,700 minus 25 would be 20. Excuse me, 2,700 minus 25 would be 2675. 2665 would be 25 down from where we are now and minus 50, and that would put us right over here. There's really nothing here. I would assume again that anomaly 2669 and this 2675 to 2669 area, I would assume this is what's going to hold us. This should be resistance right here. Again, if it wasn't in the first 8 minutes, I'd be actively looking for a short right here. I'm not going to because I don't want to get run over one way or the other while I try to figure it out. Hold on a second here. I got to send a quick message to the fund. Okay, so this is where I have resistance. Again, they could also obviously come in and test that 2697, but from a charting perspective, that hole in the profile should hold it. If my rules allowed me to be mega aggressive on the short, that's what I would short. I obviously don't want to get caught in an open drive higher, and I've been making plenty of money after 9 a.m., so I'm just going to let it go for now, but I would suspect that's going to hold. And that's really my trade plan for the day. If we get past this anomaly, this 2665.50, let's put a low. There's just nothing behind it to hang our hats on. Let's go look. What's behind there? Really? Oh, that's just rude. Okay, so this is the area that we're looking at back here. Let's open that up a bit. And underneath there, what do I spy? See if we can bring that over a little bit. Okay, so clearly way down here is a naked volume point of control and TPO point of control, somewhat spread out, but not horribly. Covers an 8-point range. No hole in the profile. This has already been tested. Nothing really here. There's an anomaly right there, hanging its head in a little tiny hole right here. I would say that 2619 to 2617. I would look for a response. It's not much to hang your hat on, but it's so far stretched that they may just hang on this. Otherwise, you got a hole in the profile right there, a tiny one. And then the obvious location that sits there is this right here. And it's not all that obvious. It wouldn't be a white zone. It'd be a yellow zone at 2682 to 2678. And then the chart is repaired. That's the last anomaly right there, 2573. There's a little tiny hole in the profile right behind it that you would use to create a zone. 2573 is 50 to 2571. So those are the key areas. If we really get extended, I'll revisit it when we get down here. And like I said, normally I'd be shorting this 26. If this wasn't in the time frame that we're in, I'd be looking to short this, push into this location for a roll back to the downside if I got structure, but I'm not going to do that. Let's go cover NQ really quick. So those are the key areas, guys. So when we look back, like I said, we've rejected out of that 2691 to 2693. All I wanted to do is test it outside the first half hour, and I'll probably be taking a short out of that location. I'm patient. I can wait till it's done. No big deal for me. Okay, NQ. Okay, so I've already highlighted these areas. Value area low. Let's see what's over here to the left. There's nothing immediately above in here. Nothing there. Let's go look to the left. There we are. Okay. This is what's okay. So the TPO point of control, the volume point of control are obvious and they're valid. 6643 to 6637. I don't know if that was Globex low or not. And then this is what stands out to me right here. I'd like to take a shot right there at 6613 to 6603. And then this profile is repaired at 65, 67, 75. I'd like to see it trade below and then back above for a push back up. That would be those would be my key areas. Below that, wow. Let's see what we have. Anything stand out? This chart's repaired. Nothing stands out. No. Hole in the profile at 6426. Clearly, this was an old support area. The back of that is what I'd focus on, the 6381 to 6373. Kind of hard to imagine we get down there. So this is an extreme location. If we get down here, guys, it's panic and mayhem, and NQ is untradeable anyways in my book. So I wouldn't even worry about it, quite frankly. So have we tested? Let's see what we've tested this morning. We've tested this naked volume point of control and this TPO point of control. They overshot it a bit. I don't have anything off to the left here. What was here that we hung our hat on? What was that? 6805. Oh, it was this anomaly right here. See that? That's what we hung our head on. Does that cap it? Sure does. That's that's the overhead resistance right there, is that 67.99 to 68.15 on NQ. And my trade plan for today, focus on 10-point rotations. I know I'm being quite slow and right. So prior support equals resistance, Daniel. So Daniel was pointing, I said, you talked about that area as support prior. So obviously old support becomes resistance from underneath, right? So so the point behind this is two things. First of all, I know it's dangerous territory to trade opens when we're minus 100. Some people are going to be looking to grab the low. We've obviously had people conditioned to buy the low, that's it, we're going to run up. We'll have, obviously there's something going on where the volatility is increased, right? So it's important to know, if you don't know it about me, what's my trading style, right? I'm not trading. A lot of people reference 1% and 2% stops on their trading account. I don't. I take higher risk than 1% or 2% stops on my trading account through the course of the day. So I need two components. I need very precise location, and I need detailed entry and exit, right? And so even if the market, even if that low was the open, let's say I said this open is the low and it's going to go. The problem is I didn't know if we were going to have a 20 or 30-point rotation down or up. So I need a controlled entry exit stop, generally 2.5 to 3 points, maybe 4 points on ES, 10 points, generally speaking, on NQ, not more, because I have to be able to take multiple shots. A lot of people misunderstand that about me, right? I can be saying, hey, this is generally resistance right here, and I could be totally right. But the next part of the structure I need is I actually need the structure in that area to set up properly for me to take the trade, which may mean I may miss, or I may take. Beautiful trade, Peter. Nice job on the TLT. Up 121% on that trade. Beautiful. I need a very specific setup. I don't care if the market goes up 200 points or down 200 points. I like it to if I'm in the trade, right? But I care more about the entry, the exit, and the stop than I do about whether this is a great buy for the next 2 weeks or the next one day or even by 1 o'clock this afternoon, right? If I totally miss the trade, I'm totally cool with it, right? And so understand, high leverage requires precision on entries. Low leverage, you can get kind of sloppy on entries and manage the trade because you think generally by this afternoon we'll be up from here. Then that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. But day trading with leverage requires detail-oriented information. So I want to go through one other thing. For those who I've sent the algo out to for use, understand our algos will look different, right? We will not, because our data source is different. This is this is actually on this one. This is gain capital data. On this is CME, and I'm comparing the two of them, right? So, for example, this triggered a short for me right here. You may or may not have that. This triggered a long, right here, early in the morning. Even if I have location, I need the algo to trigger for me in order to take the trade in most cases, or I'm not going to take my trade there. Even if I've mapped it all out and I go, this is the area, this is the last piece I need to kick in, and I'm going to follow my entry, exit, stop. For example, I'd have been short on the close of this bar, right? And I'm going to stop it right here. What's that entry, exit, stop? That's going to be, is that NQ? That is. So I'm going to short, hypothetically, if it wasn't the first half hour, my stop's going to be right there at whatever that is. I don't know why it's not marking it off, but here I'll use this. Okay, that would be my stop right there at 68.03, let's call it, right? I don't want it past that number. I'd rather take it twice and take the stop. I might adjust in this case to 68.05 because it's the swing high, right? My entry would have been 67.94.50, right? And this is the reason why I don't trade it in the first half hour, because stops do occur early in the day, right? So this is the last piece that I need to kick in. The algo is very, very, very important to me, okay, for precise trade entry. The trick is combining this algo, which is on a very tiny time frame, okay, to a larger time frame, meaning the 5 minutes in this case, because 5 minutes is actually a high time frame against it. And so I'm thinking when I'm looking for trade location, so I see I have a white zone here that I'm pushing up against. Excuse me. Sorry, I don't. I got confused in my, why do I have it double line there? There we go. That's tick. I apologize. I have value area high, volume point of control in here. And I said if I had to put, wait, I'm off. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I have nothing here. There you go. Absolutely zero in this location in ES, but I'm looking at NQ. Let me see if I have anything on NQ. Okay, let's fix these charts. Sorry about that. There we are. Okay, I had a yellow zone here. I was potentially looking for a reversal. I'll still look for a reversal here if I can get underneath, right? I'm not looking for it to come up and fill the gap. If it does, that's great. That's why I'm not trading the first half hour anyways. I don't want to get run over left, and I don't want to get run over to the right. I just want to trade the market as it sets up appropriately, okay? But it's important when I look at this algo, right, and I go, oh, there's a short, right? It's important that I look at this and go, does this make sense as a short? In other words, let's say we were all the way down here, right, at 2671, and I get a short set up. I don't want to take it, right? I want to ignore it because I'm like, this is a support area. The hierarchy of information goes higher level of information, right? This comes off all these zones and areas come off the day time frame, okay? They're more important than this. This thing is going to fire off all day long, hundreds of signals, right? It's my job to separate and go and be aware of the higher time frame against the lower time frame, right? And then my other job is if I trigger a scalp in here and I look at this chart and I go, hey, there's my short, it's important for me to go and look and go, oh, I'm at a key resistance area. I want to try and push this trade from this location. So it's important that you have both the 5-minute and the algo up running simultaneously. So my suggestion is this, the last piece. Tick divergence has been working consistently on the downside to set up good longs. I would keep an eye on tick divergence, both local and what I call larger time frame, meaning 20, 30 minutes between the low and the new tick divergence that's setting up. That's the better tick divergence. It looks like this if you're wondering for reference. Where was that low that came in? That was a great example. I just got to find the chart. There we are. Here we are. See this where this got separated by almost an hour between the new low, and see how obvious the tick divergence is? I have it underlined there. That's 319 if you want to go back and look for reference. This is a monster signal. It produced a monster rotation back up. I'm hunting this signal, guys. If I had nothing else to look for, this is what I'd be looking for today. So hoping for a roll down. I'll give them the first hour to let them do whatever they're going to do. 30 minutes. I'll start taking trades here in just a little bit. Let's reset this. There we go. And let's spread this out. And that's my trade plan for today. I'm not anxious at all. I think we'll get some good trade setups. I'm looking forward to it. So again, that NQ resistance point, that 67.98, it really should be pushed to 68.15. That's a valid resistance area, and I'm looking for a short to set up in that trade location in general. And if it does, I will be more than happy to take that trade if it sets up. And I'm hunting ES as well. So anyways, guys, that's my 2 cents, and that's all I got. So thank y'all for joining me on YouTube. Anyone like to join us in the room, you can send me an email at tradertough@gmail.com. And more than happy to extend a 5-day pass to y'all. And anyways, have a great day. Protect your capital, guys. It's very, very valuable. I'll talk to you later.